Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly profound yet surprisingly quiet shift that literally rewired enterprise technology. I want to take you back to a very specific inflection point, May 2026. Now, this wasn't a month defined by some loud sci-fi breakthrough or a flashy new consumer gadget, right? There were no robots taking over the streets. Instead, it was the month a massive convergence happened entirely behind the scenes, across hyperscalers, foundation model providers, and enterprise platforms. It was the month we all collectively realized that AI had fundamentally changed its job description.
Okay, let's dive into this. For years, we evaluated artificial intelligence as a highly capable software layer. We basically looked at it like a really smart power tool. It lived inside our apps, waiting patiently in the digital toolbox for us to push a button so it could, assist us with a task. But the deployment data from May 2026 revealed that AI actually stepped out of the toolbox entirely. It moved from being that helpful, wait-for-a-prompt software layer to becoming an independent, operational digital worker. Section 1. AI stops being software. Let's look at exactly how this before and after paradigm shift played out inside the enterprise.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between how we used to frame AI and what's actually happening right now. In the old paradigm, we had the productivity layer. This was the era of copilots and chat interfaces. AI gave us advisory support. It drafted an email, or maybe it summarized a long PDF, but actually scratch that. The main point is a human still had to keep both hands firmly on the steering wheel. Today, we see the present reality, the operational layer. AI is no longer just giving advice, it's executing. It's taking action and driving workflows forward all on its own. The whole idea of AI is just a neat little productivity boost. That's officially obsolete.
Section 2. From assistants to executors. Because AI is now driving workflows, the way organizations evaluate these systems has completely changed.
To really get a handle on this, look at how the flagship tools evolved over just a couple of years. We used to measure AI by its capacity for discrete, isolated tasks. How well could Microsoft assist with a single document? How accurate were GitHub's individual line of code suggestions? But the standard has completely shifted to end-to-end workflows. Microsoft Copilot evolved to handle multi-step workflows across your email, calendar, and meetings simultaneously. GitHub Copilot shifted into structured, multi-step software development. Enterprises stopped asking, "How many discrete tasks can you help me with?" and started asking the million-dollar question, "How much of this entire process can you finish without me even checking in?"
And the major vendor platforms stepped up to prove this wasn't just theory. These are concrete, active production deployments. ServiceNow isn't just suggesting how to fix an IT ticket anymore. Its agents are resolving IT and HR processes from start to finish. Salesforce Einstein is executing actual actions across CRM workflows rather than just generating a quick summary of a client. And with tools like Microsoft Copilot Studio, companies are spinning up their own agents hooked straight into their internal databases. AI has officially shifted from the thinking phase to the doing phase. Section 3. The new AI architecture. So how is all this autonomous execution technically possible? Let's take a look under the hood.
Let's move to and see how this builds step by step into a unified structure. What's fascinating here is that this 5-step architecture wasn't dreamed up by some central tech committee. It emerged organically across Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud based on what enterprises absolutely demanded in the real world. Step 1. Foundation models. These are basically just the plumbing now. Step 2. Agent frameworks. These are layered on top to give the AI multi-step reasoning. Step 3. Enterprise connectors. These plug those agents directly into your company's nervous system, like your CRM or ERP. Step 4. Governance layers to enforce the rules. And Step 5. Observability layers, which let us monitor exactly what the AI is doing at any given second. This is the new de facto blueprint. But, powering this massive architecture requires serious muscle. And that physical infrastructure is splitting in two entirely different directions. In one corner, we've got hyperscale cloud. These are massive, centralized data centers churning through heavy training workloads and huge-scale inference. But in the other corner, we're seeing the explosive rise of edge compute. Driven heavily by advanced GPU strategies from companies like NVIDIA, private on-device AI is absolutely taking off. We're simultaneously centralizing compute at a staggering scale in the cloud, while radically decentralizing it right down to the laptop sitting on your desk.
Section 4. Governance built right in. Now, if an AI system is executing workflows independently, the obvious question is, how on earth do we keep it safe? Well, the answer is that governance is no longer some external compliance afterthought.
You can't just build an AI system and then staple a compliance manual to it later. That's literally like trying to install brakes on a car while it's already speeding down the highway. Governance is now a built-in architectural requirement. Cloud platforms are embedding strict role-based access controls, hard-coded policy enforcement, and immutable audit logging right into the core infrastructure. Safety is the foundation now, not just an optional software upgrade.
Because these systems are so deeply wired into an organization's raw data and security policies, you can't just buy this software off the shelf, click Next 3 times, and call it a day. The entire implementation model has shifted toward what we call embedded engineering. You've now got internal platform teams working shoulder to shoulder with cloud providers and vendor engineers to custom fit these models. It's a highly customized, co-developed integration. And why? To make absolutely sure these digital workers don't completely break your existing systems when they go live.
Section 5, where the value lives. This shift in how we build and deploy AI leads us to a really important realization about the business landscape. We need to follow the money.
As foundation models have become widely accessible, they're essentially commoditized infrastructure at this point. The real money has shifted entirely to the integration layer. Just look at the market. Massive consulting firms like Accenture, Deloitte, BCG, and McKinsey are building billion-dollar AI transformation practices practically overnight. We're seeing an absolute surge of orchestration startups whose only job is to connect different AI agents together. If you know your tech history, this is a perfect mirror of the great ERP migrations or the initial gold rush to the cloud. The ultimate value always shifts away from the core platform itself and moves to the ecosystem of people who actually make it work for a specific real-world business.
Section 6, the AI native operating system. This brings us to the culmination of all these trends.
So the crucial point is this. When you're just getting insights from an AI, you really only care if it's smart. Does it write a good email? Does it summarize well? But when you're delegating actual real-world execution to an AI, you demand absolute operational control. Enterprises now expect entirely private model environments. They demand strict control over how data flows, total auditability of every single decision the AI makes, and tightly controlled memory. You just cannot delegate execution without absolute trust. Trusting the raw brainpower of a foundation model is no longer enough. You have to trust the entire system built around it.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly where we arrived in May 2026. We moved completely past the phase of adopting AI as just another piece of software. We entered the era of the AI-native enterprise operating system. It's an entire corporate architecture completely reorganized around workflow automation driven by autonomous agents, built by embedded engineers, and secured by integrated governance. It's not a new tool. It's a completely new way of running a company.
Which leads us with the ultimate question for any enterprise leader, developer, or focused learner trying to navigate this landscape. The technology has definitively shifted from augmenting your work to executing it. The architecture is built, the governance is embedded, and the operational layer is active right now. So, the only question remaining is, are you prepared to delegate execution? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.